Hello everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. There's this video tag that has been going on in YouTube, I think it was last year. It's called the 10 Things I Don't Do with My Planner tag, and I wasn't active on YouTube at the time, but a few months ago I came across a bunch of videos talking about the 10 things that people don't do in their planners, and that really got me thinking about the 10 things that I don't do in my planner. So I'm probably the very last person to ever make this video ever, and nobody tagged me because this is like a year already after the fact, but I think that it's interesting enough, so I went ahead and decided to make a video. So as you know, I am currently on this binder. I have a setup video about this binder and I will link it down below. But really, even though I switch binders, the inside of it, the planning system that's inside of it and the sections are pretty much the same, and that's what I am going to be referring to when I say planner. I mean the inside of everything, not the binder. Previous to the gray suede finish binder, I was in this pink binder. It's a Franklin Covey, but it has 1.5-inch rings, whereas the gray binder is also a Franklin Covey, but it has 1.25-inch rings. So it doesn't really matter what binder I'm in. The content inside is always the same. And the inside of my binder is what I call my planning system, and that is what we are going to talk about in this video in the 10 things I don't do with my planner. And the first thing that I don't do in my planner is decorate. I do not decorate at all. I don't have a talent for it, and I don't like stickers or washi tape because I always seem to put them in a lopsided manner, and that annoys me to no end. But I do have all of these icons that I put on my planner pages that I design and print myself, and I make it a point to make them pretty enough so they can pass for decoration. So that's as far as the decorating aspect in my planner goes. But to make a deliberate effort to actually do decoration for the sake of decoration, I don't do that. The second thing that I don't do with my planner is use it as a wallet. I have a separate wallet for that, and I made a video about it, which I will link down below. But for my wallet, I use the Filofax Compact Penny Bridge. And it works so well for me because there's my paper currency and I have coins and the zipper pocket right there, and then those slots for the cards I don't use because it's hard for me to see what they actually are, and there's not enough of them. I have a lot of cards, so instead I use the Filofax credit card holders. And this works out so well for me because the Filofax Penny Bridge has very small rings. I think it's 15 millimeters. So it's very, very compact and very light. So when I'm out and about buying stuff that I need, like groceries or school supplies, or I have to go around in bookstores, I just have this in my hand and it's not cumbersome at all. And that's why I don't use my planner as a wallet. I have a separate wallet, which is actually a planner, but I use it as a wallet. The number 3 thing that I don't do in my planner is do weekly planning in it. I don't use a weekly at all. I never have used a weekly section in the planner that I am using now. But for forward planning, I use these monthly sheets that I make myself. I print them out on personal sized Tomoe River paper so that they will also fit in my planner, and I have a monthly section for it. And I'm sure you all know by now that for my day-to-day planning needs, I use day on 2 pages on the personal size. I don't use the weekly. And the way I plan on the day on 2 pages is that the right page is for planning and the left page is for tracking, which includes the hyperdex because I fill it out after the fact, so it's more of tracking rather than planning. And on the right page for the planning side, I always write down planned tasks in black ink, and then I cross out the things that were already done in green ink. But if I end up doing tasks that were not planned so they were not listed down, but I did them anyway. I write down what I have done in green ink, so it is essentially marked as done. And that is why I don't do weekly planning in my planner, because I already plan on day on 2 pages, and for forward planning I use the teeny tiny monthly pages. The number 4 thing that I don't do in my planner, and I have never done it even with the previous planning systems, is to keep passwords in it. I have never done that, probably because I don't really try to memorize an actual password. What I do is I have a formula for passwords that I change every year, and that is what I memorize. I memorize the formula so that every password for all of my different accounts are different, but the formula is the same. That formula I never write down in my planner either, even though if I wrote it down, nobody would get what it is. But that's the number 4 thing that I don't do in my planner. And the number 5 thing that I don't do in my planner is to keep addresses in it, probably because I keep that in my in a separate file in my computer, because whenever I have to mail anything through snail mail, I actually print out an envelope label and stick that onto the envelope. I don't handwrite things, and if I keep copying addresses from page to label, then I might end up making a mistake, and I don't want to do that. So I don't keep addresses in my planner, and that's the number 5 thing that I don't do in my planner. The number 6 thing that I don't do in my planner is to meal plan, but I do meal tracking, and it's on the left page of my planning spread, and it's signified with the fork and spoon icons in one of the boxes under the hypertext. I just write down inside that box every single thing that I have eaten within the 24-hour period of that day, meaning from 12:01 a.m. until 11:59 at night. And I do meal tracking because I have a very irregular eating schedule. Actually, I don't have a schedule. I eat only when I'm hungry or when I have time, which is very, very bad, which is why I have acid reflux now. And then I do have to change that. But that's it. I don't do meal planning because I don't cook. I live in a dorm, and I have videos about my dorm life, and I will link it down below. But that's why I don't do meal planning in my planner, but I do meal tracking in my planner. Next, the number 7 thing that I don't do in my planner is to track weather. I have never done that. I have never felt the need to, because the weather here in my country and in Metro Manila is very, very it changes all the time. Like in the morning, it can be very, very sunny, and then at 11 o'clock, it may rain very heavily, and then 2 o'clock it can be sunny again, and it really depends on where you are. Like if I'm in Quezon City, it might be raining, but if I'm in Malate, it might be very sunny, or if I'm in Pasay, it can be overcast. So it doesn't really make sense to track the weather. The number 8 thing that I don't do in my planner is to plan or track home chores, because I live in a dorm. Like I have said before, I don't have chores to do. Housekeeping and laundry is done by someone else on schedule, which is one or two of the major reasons why I prefer living in the dorm. And the third reason is really that I'm only here in Metro Manila until about August or September of next year, so I'm not really sure where I want to live after. That's why I live in a dorm, and that's why I don't have home chores, and that's why I don't track or plan home chores in my planner. The number 9 thing that I don't do in my planner is to have a separate collection for all of the trackers, because I see people have separate sections for tracking certain things, like in a ring bound planner with different dividers for the different sections. Some people have that, and in the bullet journal, they call it collections. They track so many different things on there, like exercise habits, or what they're working on, what they're writing, or their vitamins or self-care, things like that. They have a separate section for that. I don't. Instead, I do tracking right on my day on 2 pages. Like I mentioned before, the left page of my Day on Two Pages spread is dedicated to all tracking. And the reason why I do this is because I don't really, my brain doesn't really work very well with having to flip pages so much, which is probably why the Day on Two Pages works for me perfectly, and which is probably why I don't use weekly tracking, because having to flip from section to section and from page to page several times in the span of one day would be too much for me. My brain won't be able to process that. I'm kind of slow, so that's why I don't have a separate section for tracking or for collections. Instead, I do my tracking all on the same Day on Two Pages that I use for my everyday planning. And the last thing that I don't do with my planner is to have a fake planner, because as I went on watching YouTube videos, I have discovered that other people who do YouTube videos about their planners often show a mock planner or a fake planner in which they do tutorials about how to do this and how to do that. And it's understandable that they wouldn't want to do that to the actual planners that they use for themselves, because if that doesn't apply to that particular day, then that would mess up the planner that they actually use in real life. But they would still like to share some tutorials and demonstrations of how to do certain things in your planner, and that's why they have a fake planner or a mock planner for that. And they say that outright. They say, I'm doing this on my mock planner. And I don't do that, probably because I have never thought of doing that before, and secondly because probably because that would be too much required thinking for me. I pretty much prefer to use my actual planner in all of my YouTube videos when I'm explaining certain things, or how to do this or how to do that, and explaining certain concepts. The thing that you see right there in all of my YouTube videos is my actual planner, not a mock planner and not a fake planner. And to summarize, the 10 things I don't do with my planner are: I don't decorate, I don't use it as a wallet, I don't do weekly planning, I don't keep passwords or addresses in it, I don't do meal planning in it, I don't track the weather, and I don't plan house chores, and I don't have a separate tracker or a collection for all of the things that I have to track. And number 10 is I don't have a fake planner or a mock planner. And that is my video for you today. I hope you were able to get some ideas for your own planning system, and I certainly hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to share with me the 10 things that you don't do in your own planner, please leave a comment down below and I will talk to you there. Thanks for watching. Bye!